People of America, this is your government speaking. Your government is dead. Repeat, people of America, your government is dead. Your government is dead. Do not panic. Do not panic. October 10th, 2013, and the government of the United States has shut down.
The government is shut down? Literally?
Literally, Perry. The government really has shut down. And as you can see, the Republic has sputtered to a halt. But here's the funny part. Here's the weird part. They can't get it started again.
The government is shut down and they can't get it started again?
Yes. Well, may you turn into the face of fear, Perry Logan. It's not just a joke. It's not just an episode from the Twilight Zone. It's been shut down now for quite a few days with no end in sight. Most Americans realize it's largely the Republicans' fault. But you must admit, the Democrats are enjoying it a little too much. Well, Ben, yes, Thomas. Have you heard? No, I've been in Paris. It was incredible. You have got to go to Paris. Well, my friend, while you are away, something that's not at all groovy has happened. Our descendants of the 21st century have, I regret to say, virtually stilled the beating heart of our great republic. You're being metaphorical, aren't you, Thomas? I'm being metaphorical, Benjamin, but the government really is shut down, and here's the scary part. They can't seem to start it again.
You mean these fools? These insipid, weak-blooded descendants of the 21st century have gone so far as to kill the republic we started?
In a very real sense, yes, Benjamin. The republic has sputtered to a halt as a result of the incompetence of our insipid, weakling, cowardly, lily-livered, weak-blooded descendants.
Hello, guys.
Betsy, my dear. These weak-blooded descendants fell prey to pernicious and destructive ideas, such as anti-government looniness.
I say, anti-government looniness? Well, that's for me. Hoo-hoo, ha-ha, hoo-hoo. Anti-government looniness, that's for me. Hoo-hoo, ha-ha, hee-hee, ha-ha. In you go.
And as we go through bowl after bowl at speeds approaching infinity, we realize we're watching another transcendent Perry Logan show from Austin's self-appointed purveyor of serial political wisdom, Perry Logan. The fact that we're falling through bowl after bowl should let you know we've entered the mind of Perry Logan, where Perry tries to give you the sense of what it's like to be him in this incredibly decrepit age. The pernicious idea we're talking about here is what Perry Logan disdainfully calls anti-government lunacy, a disease which has become widespread and rampant in the United States, as it always does when governments go bad. Oh, there's the irony, you see. When governments go bad, people lose faith in government. Of course they do. But the problem is, government is the only solution to so many of our problems. I cite global warming. Oh my God, global warming is everywhere. Global warming is getting worse. Global warming will make civilization impossible. Poor America so brainwashed by corporate propaganda that it denies the agreed opinion of the world's scientists. It's amazing that the corporations have so much power over Americans' thought processes. But there's so many other problems that only government can solve. There is, for example, the economic collapse. Now, there you go. The economic collapse. Do you know what really caused the economic collapse back in 2008? According to the economists who foresaw the economic collapse, so we might be able to believe them. According to these economists, the economic collapse was caused, drumroll, never mind. The economic collapse was caused by deregulation.
Deregulation? Oh, yeah.
Yes, Betsy Ross. The economic implosion of 2008, we're still suffering from here on October 10th, 2013. Oh, even though the economists at the Chicago School of Economics can prove to you mathematically the implosion never occurred. Perhaps not. But the economic implosion was caused by deregulation. Do you see what this means?
Tell us what it means, Perry.
It means government could have prevented the economic implosion. See? This is what I mean when I say we are faced with problems, like it or not, only government can solve. Ooh, this really gulls the kibe of anti-government loonies. But as we descend more deeply into Perry Logan's amazingly profound thoughts, we can see how right he is. Let's just take the corporations, shall we? Okay, take the corporations. Thank you, Perry. It is your show. We live in an age where corporations run everything. Let's face it, corporations run the show. Almost everything you see and hear in America on October 10th, 2013 has been corporate approved, or is brought to you by a corporation, or somehow corporations have approved of them. That's pretty amazing. If truth be known, the largest corporations, the multinationals, have more money than most governments. Now I ask of thee, who or what could possibly put up a fight against these international behemoths but a strong central government?
Ach ja, a strong central government. Rather will they one without human rights getting in the way. I said, shut up, Adolf!
Ooh, that guy is very hot-headed. Hello, this is Osama bin Laden up in heaven, skewering virgin after virgin that look just like Ann Coulter and Sarah Palin. My sweets. Just kidding, just kidding. I wanted you to know your government is dead. This is your government speaking. Your government is dead. Oh, that's a good one, Perry. Have it your own way, Perry. But you all must realize your government is dead. Your streets are empty. You cannot get into national parks. And in truth, people are really hurting there in the land of the Christian dogs. America, I brought you to your knees. If your Republicans stopped like an old cheap watch, it is because of 9/11. It is because of what my brave warriors did. And now I will humiliate you further by forcing Austin's limpid Perry Logan to do a humiliating dance. To do a dance of humiliation. Your government is dead because of me, Osama bin Laden. I'm making Austin's limpid Perry Logan dance a humiliating dance, just to underline the point that, yes, your government is dead And the credit is very much to me and my brave warriors of Al-Qaeda, who, though dead, were able to penetrate the defenses of a nation under the authority of a totally incompetent president.
Hey, wait a minute. Who are you talking about here?
I'm talking about Dick Cheney, of course, you little wimp.
Ha, you little horse's ass.
Humiliated by the ghost of bin Laden, Perry went on one of his famous walks. He went to Paris. He went to Brussels. He went to a charming little village in England called Burford. He went to Paris again. He went to the Taj Mahal, to Moscow, a maximum security prison. He went to the moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, avoiding Uranus, Neptune. This is your government speaking. Your government is dead. Your government is dead. There's a hell of an echo, and we can't get it started again. And then, as is his wont, Perry got lost. Lost in the woods of his own imagination, Perry thought. It's not hard to see how being against government is inherently problematic. After all, government is a pretty basic part of any society. Not having a government is somewhat akin to not having a brain, right? I mean, if we compare the body politic with a human body, which is often done, the government would probably be the brain, right? The central processor. Well, you see, being against government is a little like being against your own brain. This is your government speaking. We are watching you. We are watching you. We have shut down, but somehow we're still watching you. We are here inside your brain, reminding you being against government is a little like being down on your brain. Were you just nosing around my brain? Well, I'm flattered. Maybe you can find something in there. Okay, but on a very grassroots, realistic level, we're in the nth day of a government shutdown, right? Even as I speak, I guess. Okay, and that sputtering sound you hear is, could it be the Republic dying? Are the founding fathers gonna be waiting there, arms crossed in the afterlife, ready to kick our butts? Well, it's a recurrent fantasy of mine, okay? We seem to have shut down the government, which is not totally unprecedented. But you see, one gets the impression they don't know how to start it again. And since you've been looking through the riches of my brain, you know that I think that much of our situation, which is at a new level of awfulness, the dysfunctionality of our government, it really is at everybody's mind is boggled. Any political wonk, usually from right to left, the political wonks people into politics are saying, never has it been so screwed up. We even have polls to back it up. Congress has reached a new low. Is that Congress is at 5%, I mean, is this not less popular than a turd?
Your attention, please. This is your government. Your government is dead, and we can't get it started again.
We knew that. What kind of government shuts itself down, and how did we get into this mess? Well, my little theory is it really does come from a very pernicious idea, which I regret to say is kind of at its zenith, or it's at some kind of new high. That is the whole, what I call disdainfully, with deliberate disdain, I call it anti-government lunacy. And of course, it's inevitable. It's not like I'm saying people are dunderheads. People are down on government, the polls show, to a new degree. This is after 5 or 6 years of Obama, it seems like longer, doesn't it? Love him though I do, he is the most right-wing Democrat ever. Yeah. If that sounds strange,
strange. It's because you've been hearing the righties saying Obama is a socialist, to which I object vehemently. I am always telling people to go ask a real socialist who are kind of nice, you know what I mean? There are real socialists, and they are actually very nice, and they would tell you in no uncertain terms that Obama is far from a socialist. In my opinion, he's like way over there. So this means that you realize how confused this means the political right are, if I may come out from the mask of this magnifying glass for a moment, or not. And say that how confused the political right are. They think Obama is a socialist. They think the ACA or Obamacare is socialist, and it's just the opposite of the truth. It's like the right are living in their own bizarro world. Well, that's important, you see, because it does seem to be a byproduct of what I call anti-government lunacy.
Yes, this is your government speaking. Your government is dead until further notice. The problem is, this time round, we can't seem to get it started again. And the people are not even sure they want it started again, as public opinion of government reaches incredible, mind-blowing lows. Here's the problem. The belief that government is evil is a self-fulfilling prophecy. My friends, if you vote for someone who says he thinks government is evil, you're going to get some crappy government. This brings us to the question of, when did it all start?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, Betsy, hi.
What a bunch of dogs. At this point, you may well ask yourself, when did this pernicious philosophy that government is evil, the philosophy of being down on your brain, if you will, began? Perry wanted me to tell you it all began in the 1980s. If your government is dead, it's because of the 1980s. There may have been earlier antecedents, but it really got going with Ronald Death Squad Reagan.
Ronald Death Squad Reagan, most corrupt president of the 20th century. It was Ronald Reagan who first promulgated the philosophy that government is the problem, not the solution. An opinion which I have reversed in my afterlife, by the way. In fact, government was never the problem. It was the damn corporations the whole time. That's part of the reason that I, Ronald Death Squad Reagan, am being flayed in hell forever. Full fathom 5, thy government lies. Those are pearls that were its eyes. Voting for someone who hates government is like hiring a lawyer who doesn't believe in the legal system. Or a chef who doesn't believe food is good for you. It just won't work, my friends. That's why Perry believes the anti-government philosophy, promulgated largely by the big corporations, is one of the most pernicious ideas we've ever had, and why the government is dead. Why the government is dead.
This is the Buddha.
Buddha!
This is the Buddha. 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 This is Perry's satirical version of the Buddha with a pearl of wisdom. If you don't like government, try doing without it. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
This is your government. Your government is dead, and we can't get it started again.
Hey, we know.
We know the government has been shut down for a few days, and some of us are thinking to ourselves, maybe it's dead. Yes, and some of us are thinking maybe that's good. Well, government shutdowns are not unknown in history, in U.S. history apparently. There was one during the Clinton era, you know, and a lot of comparisons are being made with that one, but this one, everything seems a whole lot worse to me. In the Clinton era, we were, relative to now, we were fat and happy. I mean, this thing, you know, don't forget, as recently as the 90s, we were, well, relatively fat and happy, relative to the fleecing which has occurred since 2008. That Bush Cheney started and Obama seems to have ramped up. So, not surprisingly, I speak to you from a time where love of government is at a new low. I don't think I'm going to run for president on the pro-government ticket. The stats show it, the polls show it. I think Congress is at 5% approval. Or Republicans are sinking into the ground because most people regard them, rightly I think, as the real architects of the shutdown. Well, you know, it's the Republicans. Some of those folks, we love these people. But it's the Republicans. You know, the ones who say Democrat when they mean Democratic. Well, they think that's so cool. Well, the Repubs then are the ones who talk about drowning the government in the bathtub. I'm sorry, that's gross, but that is kind of like the attitude. There's just a contingent of folks, and I affectionately call anti-government loonies. Well, it would be fun to laugh. I do think it's a crazy idea. I do think it's a little like trying to do without your own brain. Don't you see what I mean? Trying to do without government would be a little like being down on your brain, because government would have to be analogous, is what I'm saying. In terms of society, government is analogous to the brain. Sorry. I'm going to say that word normally. Government is analogous to the central controller, the brain. So, in a very real sense, anti-government people are saying that they would just as soon society do without its brain. Okay, well, if you think that's a wickedly wonderful philosophy, okay. Well, but on the other hand, this is government is at a low point. It's very much government's fault. Let's make no bones about it. We have got some seriously rotten government going on. And it did shut down, and people are sort of weighing that and saying, well, you know, does this mean they'll spy on us less? Ha! Does this mean fewer people killed by drones? Because it's the post-Snowden era, when we know our government is to a kind of a unnerving extent up to no good, including apparently trying to surveil the whole planet. Just almost anyone who is plugged into anything is being surveilled, or they are making efforts to. It goes on forever. It's the post-Snowden era, it really is. So more bad news for government, you see. So when they shut down this time around, people say, well, maybe this wouldn't be so bad. Well, you see, this would be a whole lot funnier if the people weren't getting hurt, because people do get hurt. It's as the Buddha said, I think. I can agree with my satiric version of the Buddha. If you don't like government, try doing without it. You know, it's like people who complain about the educational system. Try having no education, okay? Well, you know, but the fact is, bad government happens just like many things happen, okay? And then, of course, people quite naturally, you know. In no way am I beating up on the kind of bad feeling about government that's going around. Our government deserves it. But I was looking a little further in this show, you know, to say I do think it came from a bad idea that gained, just kind of took hold like a fungus, okay? With Ronald Death Squad Reagan. Ronald Death Squad Reagan, we love him so much. Okay, well, well, the idea took hold that government was the problem, you see, and people would like run for office. People still run for office on an anti-government platform, and I do think it's a little like hiring a lawyer who doesn't believe in the law or a cook who doesn't believe in cooking. Or a radio repairman who doesn't believe in radios. Well, this is, however, absurd as it might be, this is totally what happened. And right on up to this government shutdown, which is generally agreed by the folks who seem to understand these complex things, is that the repubs have kind of engineered this because they have a contingent of flat-out anti-government folks, and these are the akin to the drown the government in the bathtub people. So these people are all excited that the government is shut down, and really think it's a good thing. So it's not hard to trace our mess back to Ronald Death Squad Reagan, currently being flayed in hell.
This is your government speaking. Your government is dead. And we can't wake him up. Your government is dead. Go home. Go home, all of you.